Fang of the dragon! The sword! The land!
Yes, Merlin, that's it. Set the world to rights. Call the dragon.
At last it was you.
أنا الأثرك وثفن
At last it was you.
أنا الأثرك
At last it was you.
أنا الأثرك
Last it was you.
أقتل بيده
At last it was you.
So, Love Street started 10 years ago with myself and Andy Borders, the bass player, meeting in a pub called the Rising Sun in Cornwall. An idea of mine to get together Love Street, which was named after a dream of my brother. My brother Greg was a musician, sadly died when he was 37. But his dream was that he and I would have an original band, and we call that Love Street because that's the street in Sheffield where the band used to rehearse. Of course, we lost Greg, but many years later I found Andy and we started to put this together. And so since then we did a first album. We've always very lucky to have treated Real World, Peter Gabriel studio, where we are now, as our home studio. So we did our first album, Both Sides of the Door, here. Immediately produced by the amazing George Schilling, who's a world-recognised, award-winning producer. And the band toured extensively across Europe. That album went pretty well, got a lot of airplay on BBC National and BBC Local and other local stations. And then probably about 4 years ago, the band came off tour and decided to take a rest. And during that rest, the original guitarist, the original violinist and the original drummer all decided they'd had enough. So that left myself and Andy. And we decided we wanted to keep this project going. So Andy found a fantastic drummer called Kevin Cook from Cornwall. So then there were three in the immortal words of Genesis. It's a good place to say that, being here. And then violin-wise, we'd toured with a band called Greenhouse Fairy and a fantastic violinist called Hannah Heinen, and Hannah joined us as our violin player, and then a good friend of mine from London, Paul Meering, came on board as guitarist. And that's the mainstay of the band. But since then, and what's going to be performing tonight at Real World is the full band, if you like. That's a 12-piece band, believe it or not. So it includes George Schilling playing cello for us, the Lovettes, which is our fantastic group of three women backing singers, April, Faith and Yasmin. And then we have the incredible John Telfer playing sax and flute, Lester Osborne on percussion, Saku playing harmonica and second guitar. So yeah, we're really looking forward to tomorrow night's performance. Yeah, so Saku and Hannah from Finland. They live in Tampere, where the Moomins come from. So they come across for this. They come across for the recording, and they come across when we tour and we play. And then John Telfer, Lester, Paul Meering, they're all from London, and then the rest of us are from Cornwall and the West Country. We think we've got something really special with this album, The Alchemist's Daughter. We would now like to be picked up by major management. We've got a potential of playing a major rock festival in Istanbul this year. That's a 75,000 audience. So we're waiting to hear if that confirms. But we would like to make this really serious now. And following the footsteps of some of the other great bands that have come out of Real World. So obviously Peter Gabriel, but bands like Big Big Train, who are, we love everything that Big Big Train do, and we'd love to be able to, follow them onto the kind of circuit that they're on. We're a prog rock band now. We're a pure prog rock band. Funnily enough, we've started, one of the things we're going to do this weekend when we're not performing is we want to start working, believe it or not, on the third album, even though we've just completed the second and it's not released yet. And myself and the guitarist Paul, we've talked about doing some more work with full brass sections, but it'd be hugely diverse. That's Love Street. That's what we're about. We just love doing things that we love doing. Every song has a meaning. every lyric has a real story. It's about a real person or a real situation. And we've also been lucky that in the good old-fashioned prog way, we're now developing some fantastic artwork that will accompany the albums and the writing of the songs that we're doing.
Brilliant. Well, we're looking forward to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.